A very good morning, students. Welcome back to Java programming session. As we promised, today we are taking this extra class, and we are dedicating this class to the programming only because we missed some of the programming in AWT concepts. I have not shown you how to execute the AWT programs, that is creating a container, then creating components, adding those components inside the container. And we said for adding this component we can do it manually, or we can leave it on the layout manager to do the job. And then whenever you are generating an event on the interface, then how that event needs to be handled, all these things we need to discuss. So these things, inshallah, in today's session I will try to wind up as much as possible, so that we can move ahead and we discuss the remaining concepts in Java. So AWT programming and Swing programming, both I will try to. Swing, I guess today we'll look for it, and if not possible, we will take another extra class, and in that class we will do the Swing programming as well. Okay. So quickly for AWT programming, first we will discuss how we gonna create a simple message on the GUI interface. So how we can print a simple message on the GUI interface with the help of Abstract Window Toolkit API. We are doing this one. So our way of writing the program, it differs from our regular way of writing the programs. So yeah, I have, not much configuration. I mean, a little configuration or no configuration, we can say, to execute these AWT programs. We have to do with our edit plus. So same Java C and Java commands only I'm gonna use in order to execute my AWT programs. But in order to execute the applet programs, we have to go for applet viewer. As we are not doing that one, so we are simply doing AWT. So no need of any configuration inside the your edit plus or inside your Java environment. Whatever environment setup we are having with us to execute our regular programs, that environment setup will also execute your AWT programs. So quickly we see that one. So let me just open my edit plus. So as I said, first we will see how we can create a simple message. Okay, for creating a simple message we have a component called label. Okay, inside the component class, under the component class we have to say, because we have seen the hierarchy of these things. So here you can see we have a component called a label. So this label will make use in order to print a message on the uh, GUI, what we call interface. Okay, to print the message, any message you want to print, you have to use this label class instance you have to create in your program. At that instance you need to add to any of these containers. So your window, your frame, your dialog, panel, applet, all these are our containers. They hold these components, isn't it? They hold these components, these interactive components, we can say. So basically whenever we are writing a GUI, will not go for window, will not go for panel, dialog, applet. We mostly use this frame. Okay, so as a container we create a frame. On that frame we put this label as a component, and in that label we write our message, whatever we want to write. Very simple thing. Okay, you need to create the container, that is frame, and on that on that frame you need to add this label, so as it will be visible to the end user, hopefully. So when we do the programming you will understand it clearly. So I'm going to my edit plus and take a Java program, and my class name. See, in order to write the AWT programs you need to import one package, that is java.awt. Okay, so that I am doing now. So import java.awt star. So that means I'm including everything, whatever we have inside that AWT package all the classes, all the interfaces I'm including into my current program. Okay, then my class name I'm taking it as label. I can't take because it is, we have a standard class also. So label demo I'm taking because we are demonstrating the label. Okay, so label demo. Then inside this PSVM, we make use of PSVM only. If you are not making use of PSVM, if you are going with any other approach, then you have to do the modification to your environment, Java environment, because there is a lot many methods apart from this PSVM, public static void main. We have different methods to do the GUI. Okay, GUI in our Java. So that approach, as it is quite different, we are not following that one. Rather, we'll go with the regular approach only. Using PSVM only, we will try to generate the GUI. So see, whenever you are going for a PSVM, public static void main, you can execute the program with Javac. But if you are going with another approach, then you have to find out the suitable way to execute your program. Okay, so because in applet we are not going to have the PSVM, there we are going to have draw method or print method. We have different ways in applets, as well as in swings also. We'll try to go for a different approach. Okay, so if you are going for a different approach, then definitely you need to modify the environment, Java environment, so that you can execute your programs. Okay, so far simple approach for executing AWT programs. PSVM I have written. Now create the instance of the frame class, because we need what we call the container inside our program. So I am creating a frame f is equals to new frame of. Here you can give the title of your application. Okay, here as we are practicing label, so label demonstration we are doing, so label demo. So this title, where it will come, I will show you. When it generates the output, the title where it will print, I will show you. Then create the labels. Okay, we need to create the labels. First you create the label instances, then you try to instantiate it, because we need to call different methods. Okay, on this label we need to call different methods. So yes, first of all, label 1 comma label 2, two labels I am creating because I want to print two messages. So then label 1 is equals to, now I am instantiating new, calling the constructor label of. So here whatever message you want to print on the GUI environment, on that frame, you can print over here. Okay, my first label. Okay, my first label, a simple message I have given. Then create the L2 also. L2 is equals to instantiate L2 new label of, this is my second label, close it. Okay, yes, then go for the set bound method, because initially we will not use any layout manager, so rather we will go with the manual approach. So manually, how we can give the coordinates or give the specification where you want the label to be printed on the GUI, in the sense with the help of set bounds method. We have a set bounds method that will tell, I mean that will give the location, exact location where you want x, y, xy coordinates. That is nothing but from the top how much, from the side, from the top, from the bottom, from left side, from right side, how much space you want to leave, and where exactly you want to position this label. That position will be decided by the set bounds method. So we have the set bounds method, set bounds of, give the coordinates, like from the top 50, from the left side let us say 100, and from the right side let us say 100 only, and from the bottom also 50. Likewise, it will take these coordinates and it will print the label. I will show you how the label will come. Then we have do the same thing for L2 also. Okay, L2, yes, here just try, because if you give the same coordinates, what will happen, both the labels will get overlap, isn't it? Both the labels will get overlap. That we don't want. We don't want the labels to be overlapped, rather they need to be printed one by one. So from the top, okay, what I will do, from the top I will give I will increase the coordinates so that the label will be printed in a separate location. So I'm just slightly changing, okay, 50 comma 150. So the second coordinate I'm changing, then 100, then give the last coordinate also like 50 or something. Okay, you can change it after seeing the output. Okay, if you want to change, you can change the coordinates after seeing the output. So L2 also positioned. Then what we have to do, add these two labels on the container. This is my container and these two are my components. So add these two components on the container. How come? F is my container, call the add method, f dot add of l1 got added to the container. Then add the second one also, second label also, f dot add of l2, second component, second label also got added. Now set the size, because we have given the coordinates for the labels, but we have not given the size of the container, backside container. So that size we can give with the help of set size method. Set size is a method inside your frame that will give or set size is a method in container class basically. Okay, so that will set the size of the layout. So 400 width is 400 and height is also 400 we have taken. Okay, then f dot set layout. So instead of calling this set bound, you can also fix a layout for your frame. That we are not doing now. So I'm passing no layout manager. So set layout of null. I'm not passing any layout manager. I'm doing the positioning of the components manually. So afterwards, we, instead of this null, we pass a particular layout manager and we see how the output will get changed. And at that time, when you are passing the layout manager, at that time no need of this set bounds method over there. So now set layout is done. Now the next thing is f dot set visibility. Okay, we need to make the frame visible, so pass it as true. Okay, so this is how the complete program. So all the stuff, I mean all the things we have done. We have created the container with a proper title, then we have created two components, labels, then we have given the messages to those two labels, then we have positioned those two labels using the set bounds method, and then we have added those two components, labels, to the container frame. Then we have set the size of the frame, and then layout manager we are not using. Then finally we are making the frame visible. So with the help of set visible, by passing true argument, we are making the frame visible to the end user. So this is how we do. Then save this program with label demo.java. Okay, here you put that label demo.java. Okay, hit the enter key. Now the program got saved. So what we have to do, compile it using the Java compiler, Java C only I am compiling. So yes, it got compiled because it is very easy program, very simple program. So it got compiled without any errors. So the next thing, I'm executing it. See, we got the GUI in a separate window. This is your complete frame. We set the size of this frame as 400. Okay, from here, because this top title bar we will not consider, below the title bar to this it is 400 pixels, and in this direction also this is same. From here to this corner here it is 400. And where we have positioned, you can see first we have positioned my first label, then I have positioned my second label. If I change the locations here, if I make both the things as 100 only, then what will happen? As I said, both the labels will get overlapped. Just see that one. I'm compiling, compilation successful, and then I'm executing, run. See here, my both labels got overlapped, so I'm seeing only my first label and I'm not seeing my second label. The reason, they got overlapped. Okay, they got overlapped. That's the reason I'm not seeing the second message. See, moreover, closing this window, don't expect that this window will get closed by simply if you click on this one. You need to handle this event. Clicking minimize, it is handled by the JVM itself. Clicking maximize also handled by the JVM, but clicking the close button, you need to handle it manually. Okay, this is not handled by the JVM. That's the reason close button will not work. So you need to handle this close window, because closing a window, it is in the hands of a user when he wants to close. Maximize, minimize, of course, it can be given to the JVM. Okay, but closing window, there may come scenarios where you want to close the window manually. Okay, you can even do the maximize, minimize with the help manually also. I mean, okay, manually also. But if you are clicking minimize, before minimizing this window, you want to print some message, that message also you can print. So how we can handle that event, in the sense you need to handle this minimize button, maximize button, and close button. Okay, so all these things are slowly we will do the advancement. But now, as we are printing a normal label, okay, save it. Once again we will check it, compile, compilation, it is successful, and you run it. Okay, Java run. As you can see, we got the output. Hopefully you understood this one. Then close it. So this is about the labels programs, labels program. So you can even handle the label with some action. Okay, so it is too early to discuss the actions. So before we do that one, what we do is we'll go for some other components like buttons and the text boxes, how we can draw a text box and how we can draw a button, that we will see. Event handling we will do slowly. Okay, first we will go to the button, adding a button on the frame. Okay, so adding a button on the frame, how you can do? So simple thing. So I mean, moreover, I mean, I need to give some more clarity on the output here, whatever we are getting. See, in this output here, the label demo, we are getting like a frame title, this one, the window title over here. Okay, label demo, where we have given this label demo here. Whatever you give when you are creating the container, whatever you give the message, or whatever you give the title, it will become the title of the window. Okay, so here you will get. Then labels like normal messages to print, as I said, we are not getting any GUI component for that one. It is coming like a normal message only on the window. Okay, positioning, as you have seen, I have shown you by, I mean, if we give the same set bounds or same positioning for more than one component, what will happen? They will get overlap. Okay, then adding, add method, it is adding. Okay, the set size method, it is giving the size of the window. Set layout null, because we are not using any layout manager. And set visibility true. If you make this set visibility as false, in that case what will happen, we will see. Okay, if you make this as false, then what will happen? Simply see, compile, done, and then run. We're not getting any output. The reason, because we have not done the visibility true of for that window. Okay, for that frame, that's the reason we are not getting any output. So you need to make this visibility as true, then only you can see the frame. Okay, so the purpose of having that function, it is very crucial, because many of the times without making a component visible, you can do you can pass a lot of messages from one frame to another frame. Okay, it is a very deep concept. So now you can see that frame over here. Okay, simply close it. So in this way we can create a label. Okay, next thing is a button, how you can create the button on the frame. So I'm taking my program name now as button demo, instead of label demo, button demo. So the rest of the things, it is same, PSVM frame we need to create, then create buttons. Okay, here instead of button, okay, button b1 b2, two buttons I am creating, b1 b2. So then instantiate this button. Okay, instantiate this button. How come? b1 is equals to new button off, button, button off. Here whatever you pass the string, it will come on the button. And moreover, it is not the label demo, it is button demo. We are doing button demonstration now. So instead of my first label, you can print it my first button. Okay, my first button, and here make it same. B2 is equals to new uh, button of my second button. Okay, use the set bounds to set the location. B1, B2, same values I am passing. So now f dot add of B1 and f dot add of B2. Two buttons we are adding, and rest of the things same I am maintaining. So simply what I have done, in place of label, I used the button class to create the buttons now. Okay, instead of creating labels, now we are creating buttons. Action listener, so far we are not seeing, we are not generating any event, we are not creating any action listener to see the output, I mean, so to see the effect on the frame. We are simply creating the static pages now. Okay, so here this is compiled successfully. Now run it. As you can see, okay, we got the labels only because we are executing label demo. That's the reason we got the previous output. So what we have to do, we need to save this program with button demo name. Okay, now go to save as, give the name as button demo dot java. Hit it. Now compile. Compilation successful. Now you execute. See, we got two buttons now. Okay, my first button, my second button. Like this we got buttons. Okay, hopefully you understood how we got these buttons, in the sense, maybe yes, in place of those labels in my previous example, now we got the buttons. So how we can get the text boxes or text fields, we call them as text fields here in Java. In your maybe in your what we call web technologies, maybe in your HTML you call them as text boxes, but here we call them as text fields. In Java we call them as text fields. So text fields are helpful in order to give some input, text input. Okay, so that we are doing now. Text field demonstration. Mm, text field fields demonstration, or text field demonstration. So then here same thing, we need to create here text fields. Text field is a class. Okay, so t1, t2. Next is instantiation, t1, t2. Yes, you can give any message. My first text field. Here also same thing, my second text field, t2. Here in place of text box button, you need to put text field. Text field constructor call. Then here t1 dot set bounds and t2 dot set bounds. Then add them to the frame. Okay, f1. Sorry, not f1. T1, t2. T1 I have added. T2 also I have added. Now frame dot set size of 400, and rest of the things are same. So this is not a button demonstration, rather it is a text field demonstration. Now save the program, Control C, save as, give that name dot Java. Hit enter. Program got saved. Compile. As you can see, compilation successful. Now we will get what? We will get text boxes like text fields. Okay, these things we got. Okay, you can delete and you can add something else over here. Okay, like the username you can add over here, which will go as an entry to your application. Username here, maybe you can put password. Okay, password, password, like that you can. Username, here you need to enter the username, and here you need to enter the password. Likewise you can put. Hopefully you understood this thing. So this is how we do the text fields on the what we call our frame, creating the text fields on the frame. Okay. Now we will see how we can handle the yeah, list, choice, radio buttons. We have choice, we have lists, we have choice is nothing, list is nothing but it will give like a list. Okay, that also we will see. Creating a list, it is also an important one, and then we will see the choice, how we can create the choice. Okay, then checkbox groups also we need to see. Checkbox group also we will see. First we will go with list. Okay, then uh, okay, first we will go with the list in the sense it will give a list of items. From that you can select any one item. Okay. uh, yes, yeah, how we can modify this program in the sense, because as we are demonstrating list now. Okay, give the name as list demonstration, and no need to include any extra package, it is under AWT only. Then create the frame. Yeah, as we are demonstrating list now, so list demo. Then create a list, and you need to specify, I mean, list, it is also like a container for list items. Okay, this is also container for list items. So create the list. Okay, list L1 is equals to new list of how many you want, how many items you want. I want 5 items in my list, so I'm taking it as 5. Then set the boundary for list. Okay, here set the boundary for list L1 is equals to set bounds of this one. Okay, I need only these many boundaries. Okay, afterwards we will change, accordingly we will change. Then add items into the list. Okay, add items, because we need to add 5 items into the list. So that how we can do in the sense, L1 we call the add method, same add method we call on list. So see here, we are adding items to the component, items to the component, component to the container. In that way you have to remember. So what we are doing here now, we are adding the items, because list, it is a collection, it is not a regular component, it is a collection. So when you are creating a list, inside list we will have multiple items, multiple items. So each item will represent an entity. Okay, each item will represent an entity, so we are going to have multiple entities inside the list. So as we said, list of 5 now, so how many items we can put inside this list? 5 items we can put. So this list later on it will get added to the container. Okay, our container is what? Our container is frame. Okay, this list will get added to the frame. This list is nothing but component. Okay, it is a collection component. So inside that collection component, whenever you are adding items, we are calling add method on the list. And whenever we are adding this list to the container, we are calling add method on the frame, like this, on the container. To add the items into the list, call the add method on the component. Okay, to add the items to the container, call the add method on the container. Like this you remember. Okay, so quickly go. And here what we are doing now, we are adding the items into the list, into the component, so that you can give like this item 1. Okay, close it. So how many we need to add? 5 items we need to add, so that I am adding one by one. Just go to the second one, and here you add item 2. Okay, then the third one, item 3. Then the fourth one, item 4. Then the last one, item 5. Okay, like this we have added 5 items. Now add this list to the container. Container is nothing but our frame. So we have only one item now, one component now, so we are adding that component to the container. So my component object is L1, so that L1 I'm adding. Now set the size of the container, and make it layout manager as null, and make it visible. Okay, that's it. Now save it, and check how it will give the response. Okay, First we will see like this. If we will not get, we have other approaches also. Okay, we will follow that approach. I guess we will get the output. Yeah, we need to give the program name. This is not list. Okay, this is list demo. This is not text field demo. So we need to save it as list demo dot java. Hit enter. Program got saved. Once again, you just compile it. It got compiled successfully. Now you can execute, run. See what we got. We got a list over here, and whenever the items go beyond the size of your component, whenever the item goes beyond the size of your component, a scroll bar will be added automatically. Okay, this is your vertical scroll bar, and it get added automatically, and you can select the items like this. Okay, as they are part of a single list, you can select only one item. Okay, one item you can select like this. Hopefully you understood. This is your list. Okay, list demonstration. So then we can even go for, after list we have like checkbox. We can go for checkboxes. Checkboxes in the sense we can select multiple options from that checkboxes, like ticks, right marks will come on the interface. I will show you how you can create the checkboxes. Yeah, we are creating two checkboxes over here. So now we are demonstrating not the list, rather checkbox. Checkboxes. What is the class name? box, no. xes, no. So in this way you can see, if you are using an advanced IDE, means you can get more options. Here what I am trying to get the spelling of my checkbox. It is giving issues. Okay, because yeah, now you can see it is correct. Checkbox B must be small. Now it is giving red, that means it is the class. So give, you can copy this, and checkbox demo is my user defined class. So here first of all we need to add the frame, and we are demonstrating checkbox now, checkbox demo. Okay, and as I said, we're gonna add two checkboxes. So simply first you create instances, we need to create separately, because checkbox group we have another option, that there we will see how we can create the group also. This is normal checkbox I am creating. C1 checkbox, CB1 checkbox 1 is equals to a new check, small b, checkbox of, let us say, C programming. C programming. Okay, put at the end, put the semicolon. Now create another one, another checkbox, CB2. Okay, CB2, make it as C++ programming. Okay, take another one, CB3, make it as Python. CB3, make it as Python or Java. Okay, Java programming, like this. Okay, now what we have to do, set the bounds for all, because we need to position them properly. Set the boundaries for all these checkboxes. So what I will do, here CB1, not L1, rather it is CB1. CB1 set bounds of, put like this. Then take CB2. CB2, what we have to do here, just increase 50. Okay, from the top. Then CB3, once again increase 50 more from the top. So 200, like this. CB1, CB2, CB3, they positioned on the what we call no need of items, internal items. They positioned on the frame. Now add them to the container frame. CB1 we have added successfully. Then go for CB2, add it to the container, CB2. Then the third one, CB3. Like this you can add CB1, CB2, CB3 to the container. Afterwards, yeah, set the size from for frame, that is 400 dimensions we set, and make the layout manager as null, and make the frame visible. Okay, so now save it and compile it. If there are any issues, it will list. yeah, there are no issues, then run it to see the output. See, we got the, no, once again we forgot to change the program name. We are getting the previous output only. So control C, go to save as, paste here .java, hit enter. Okay, now compile, successfully compiled, execute. Yes, now you can see we got, okay, actually 3 we need to get, but I don't know why it is printing only 2. So let me just check once again. There is some positioning problem we are getting. Okay, so this is 50, 100, 100, 50, 50, 150, 100, 50, 50, 200. Have we added CB3? Yes, we have added CB3 also, and CB1, CB2, CB3 we have done. So maybe here you need to make it as height more 600. We will see. Compile. Okay, done. Then run. No, we didn't get. Even increasing height, it is not printing. That's why we have to go for layout managers, because of the positioning problem we are getting. We are getting only 2 now. Okay, checkboxes. We are getting only 2. And they are independent to one another. Selecting one is not affecting the other one. Even you select or deselect the other, nothing will change with the previous one. Okay, see here, nothing will change with the previous one. Okay, let me just try to figure out what is the issue over here, why I'm not getting the third. I think we are not getting the second one, right? CB2 we are not getting. Maybe it is getting overlapped or something. Here you put some 100 and 100, here you put some 150, and check now. Tools, compile, done with compilation. Now tools, run. No, still we are not getting, we are not seeing that one. Maybe there is some issue with this one. Checkbox off, checkbox off. Maybe this positioning issue only, somewhat we are not doing properly. Because of that reason only my second check. Yeah, here you can see set bounds I am invoking on the same CB1, CB1. That's the reason it is not displaying that one, no other reason. Okay, I find out the issue now. Okay, so here in place of CB1 we need to put CB2, because we are not doing the positioning for CB2. That's the reason it is not displaying the second one. So now it will display all 3. Compile. It is done. Now execute. As you can see, we are getting 3. Okay, and selecting one is not affecting the other one. Selecting or deselecting one is not affecting the other one. They are completely independent. That means you can do the multiple selections as well. Okay, what if you want one, I mean, because this is for, you can learn more than one programming language as well. So you need to give the flexibility to the user to select multiple options. But in case male female, suppose you are giving the gender selection on your application, then selection of male female, you need to make dependent on one another. So suppose if you are selecting male, female should get disabled automatically, and if you are selecting female, male should get disabled automatically. So that how we will achieve, in the sense, with the help of I guess checkbox group we have. With the help of checkbox group we will achieve that one. I will show you small modification we need to do in our current program. So okay, so here, after creating frame, and what I will do here, in the sense, I will make it as male. Okay, I will make the second one as female, and third one I will just delete. So here what we need to do, make checkbox group. So this is the checkbox group example, isn't it? CBG. Okay, checkbox group example, uh, group demo. Checkbox group demo we are doing checkbox group demonstration. So checkbox group demo. Create the checkbox group now. Checkbox group. Okay, CBG, checkbox group, is equals to new uh, checkbox group of. Okay, simply call the constructor checkbox group of. Okay, of. Here as we are doing demonstration of checkbox group, change the title to checkbox group, save it. Okay, when you're, yeah, inside the checkbox group, when you're creating the checkboxes, what you have to do in the sense, you have to pass more arguments, put comma, and pass the name of this checkbox group, CBG, object of that checkbox group, and CBG. And one more argument you have to pass between these two, uh, checkbox 1 and checkbox 2, which one you want to be enabled initially. So I want male to be enabled initially, and if I select the female, male will become automatically deselected. Okay, so here I have to make it as true, and a female make it as false, like this. Save it and add only 2. We don't need the third one, and here also the third one is not required. That's it. Okay, remaining all as it is, they will go. So simply we have created a checkbox group, and in that checkbox group we have added 2 checkboxes, one as true and other one as false. Just see what will happen. So select, go to, yeah, we need to save the program with this name, save as, control V dot Java, hit enter, program got saved. Now compilation, as you can see, it is successful. Then run it. See, we got 2 checkboxes. Now the uh, uh, graphic of that button, I mean graphic of that label, it got changed. Previously it was like a square box, now it is round. Okay, so now it is something like, you call it as a radio button in your HTML, isn't it? It become like a radio button. See, selecting female is automatically deselecting the male, or selecting male, it is automatically deselecting the female. So in this way you can create a lot of components on the AWT window. And moreover, the title also you need to check it is changed. Now it is checkbox group example demo. Okay, so in this way we can create different types of components. We have lot many components actually. You can even go for the pop-up menus, menu items, menu bars. Okay, shall we see one menu bar example, because it will look more crazier than the ones which we are doing right now. So menu bar, it is also like a collection component. Okay, it is also going to have some internal items. Okay, so that we will practice now. So here what we are doing, menu bar is something like this, getting the menu. See over here, all these are menu bar options, getting the menu to your application. How we can achieve that one means that we will see over here. Okay, so for this what we are doing, again, as we are practicing menu bar, just remove this one. See, whatever practice we are doing in today's session, it is very important. Definitely you will get more programs from this one. Okay, so, and you need to practice more. Whatever I am explaining over here, that's not enough. You need to practice more. You need to add more concepts to it. So we are doing menu demonstration. We have a menu bar class. So menu bar demonstration. Okay, menu bar, yeah, menu bar class we have. So menu bar demonstration. So then PSVM, inside that we are creating a frame, that is nothing but the container, and to this container we are adding menu and menu items. We will see both, because menu bar, it is a collection, it will have collection of items. Okay, so create the menu bar class object now. So menu bar MB equals to new menu bar of, new menu bar off. So into this what we can do, we can create a menu. Inside a menu bar, we are going to have a menu. So menu is also a class. So it is like an item, we can say. Okay. So then, sorry, it is like an this. See, menu bar is the top one. Menu is this what we are getting, and inside this menu we are going to have menu items. So three things over here when we are talking about the menu bar, menu and menu items. Three things. See, menu bar in the sense the top list what we are getting. The top list like this we will get na. Here we will get like file, then edit, then view. Like this we will get all the items. So this is your menu bar. Okay, in this menu bar, menu is something, the drop. When you click on that file you will get a drop, isn't it? That is your menu. So then whatever we are going to have here like open, save, okay, save as, all these options we are going to have, these are your menu items. So this is menu bar, this is menu, and these are menu items. Menu items. Okay, quickly we need to discuss. We will create a simple static GUI for this one, and afterwards we will see the action listeners. Action listeners, it will take a lot of time, so I'm planning to show you the action listeners only for these small things, like for a label and for a button I will show you the action listener, but rest of the things you need to practice by your own. Okay, because completing all those things, because we have a squeezed semester now. For your seniors I have completed everything. I have shown the action listeners for not only to these components but also on the mouse and keyboard. Mouse and keyboard action listeners, they are very very important programs. Two programs we have: mouse action listener and keyboard action listener. Whenever you are pressing a key on your GUI, how the application should give the response. Whenever you are pressing the different buttons on your mouse, like right click, left click, scrolling, hovering, okay, dragging, all these things when you are doing. See, these terms, they have meaning in your application. Dragging means something else, hovering is something else, clicking is something else, double clicking is something else, okay, scrolling is something else. So like this, all these events, we call them as events, and we need to handle these events properly into your application. And that keyboard's event handling and mouse event handling, we have two programs, and they are very very important programs for your external exams. Along with that, we have a menu bar program also, that is also very important program. Three programs already I told you, they are LAQs, long answer questions. What are they? Keyboard event handling, mouse event handling, and menu bar program. These three programs, from these three, definitely you will get one program in your external exams. So the foundation I am giving over here, practice at your level. Okay, whatever program we have, whatever, just go to the previous year university question papers and find out that program and practice that program. Okay, at your level. Okay, so the next thing, yeah, we need to do this menu bar program now. So menu bar object I have created. Now I am creating the menu object. So menu, small menu is equals to new menu of, give the name to that menu. Okay, so I am giving like a file. Okay, file, we will see where it will come, and accordingly we will do the modification. Then create another sub menu. Okay, sub menu, menu, sub menu equals to new menu of, and here you put like the, yeah, save as. Okay, we will put some sub menu, we will see where it will come. Then menu items, and we need to add those menu items accordingly. So I'm creating some, let us say 5 menu items I'm creating. So quickly we need to do menu item is a class. Okay, menu is a menu bar is a class, menu is a class, and menu item is also a class. So mi menu item 1 equals to same, call the constructor after new, menu item menu item of, put the first option open. Okay, then take the same thing, same stuff, control C, put here, control V, menu item 2. Okay, open. After that, first new, we will have first new then open, isn't it? So new, here, open. Okay, then third item, take another one, control C, mi3, menu item 3, and make it as save. Okay, save. Okay, then take another one, submenu, we call it as submenu, the next one. Okay, we call it as submenu, control C, and this is I4, menu item 4, and make it as submenu, and in that submenu we put edit and something else, view. Okay, edit and view we will put in submenu. So this is my submenu, and in that submenu we will put edit and view. So those things also we need to create like menu items. So mi5 is inside submenu, we are adding the edit. Take another one, mi6, inside submenu we are adding the view option. Okay, these things we have successfully done. Then yeah, add the menu items to menu. Okay, so what we do, this 3 we put inside the menu. Okay, submenu name as okay, submenu we have already taken. Now here you make it as submenu. Okay, here it is not required, just remove this one. This is your mi4, this is your mi5. So we put the first 3 inside the file option, and the next 2 we will put inside submenu, and we will see how it will give the output. So first what we have to do, menu dot add. So inside menu I'm adding mi1. Okay, then add the second one inside the menu only, add the second option, then add the third option also inside menu only. Then let me just check how much time it is. It is like 53 minutes. Okay, so take the, then after this I will show you the action listeners, then we will wind up, and if possible we will see the swing program also, one simple swing program, and with that we will conclude. Okay, mi3, then add the remaining inside the submenu. Okay, submenu only, right? Yeah, we need to be very careful when you are giving the names here. Submenu, here you put submenu equals to, no, dot add of mi4 you add, then take another one and add the last option. See, submenu of mi5. So the first 3 items, menu items, I have added to the main menu, and mi4, mi5 I have added to the submenu. So after adding all this, what we need to do, add the menu add the menu to the menu bar. Okay, so adding the menu to the menu bar, here you can do, how we can means, uh, menu dot add of, add the menu dot add. So we are adding the menu to the that is what is that, menu only, right? Okay, adding the menu to the menu bar. Okay, adding the menu to the menu bar. No, first what we have to do, we need to add the submenu to the menu. So here you add the submenu to the menu. So add the submenu to the menu. How come? Yeah, menu of add of submenu. menu. Okay, submenu. See, I will show you how the output will come in the sense. See here. Yes, we will get the menu bar at the top with only one entry, that is we gave the name as menu. Okay, inside this menu we will get different items like item 1, all these things we have added. Okay, item 1, that is open, we have added like what we gave the names as new open save. So here you will get new open save. Okay, here you will get new open save. Then you took the next option as save as, isn't it? Submenu name we have taken submenu, or yeah, submenu only we have taken. So submenu will come over here. Submenu with like this a triangle. Okay, here a submenu will come. So when you come over here to this, submenu will be opened. So inside that submenu, what we kept like edit and view. We kept edit, we kept view. Like this you can see the options. So new will come, then open, then save, then submenu will come. So for after adding new open save to main menu, what we have done, we have added the submenu also to the main menu, and inside submenu we have this edit and view. So that same thing we are doing over here. First we are adding the menu items to the menu bar, then we are adding the menu items to the submenu bar, then we are adding this submenu bar to the menu bar. So submenu items to the menu. Then finally we need to add this menu to the menu bar. So menu bar is our MB, isn't it? Menu bar is MB. MB dot add of what we need to add? Menu we need to add. Okay. Then after adding the menu bar to the menu to the menu bar, add the menu bar to the frame. Okay, add the menu bar to the frame. So here f dot add of menu bar. Okay, so after adding the menu bar, set the size. Okay, that is yeah, this is how we will achieve. Set the size. Okay, we have set the size of our frame, that is 400 600. Then make the layout manager as null, and then make the set visible method to true, so that you can see the output. Okay, so now save the program, go to compile. Maybe there are some issues. Yes, yeah, menu dot add of submenu, I forgot to put this semicolon here. Save it. Once again go to compile. Yeah, f dot add of menu bar, no suitable method found. Okay, not add of, I guess here we need to call a different method. F dot add of, no, because this is something like a menu bar, right? We are not adding the component, we are adding the menu bar, and this menu bar should go at the top, not on the frame, isn't it? So for that what method we have, let me just check. I'm just going to my frame class. No methods. So let me just check in container class, because frame class is the subclass of your container class, isn't it? So we need to check in container class. Container class. So that's the reason this program development will take a lot of time, because we need to check so many things. Okay, so here inside my container class I have a method with name. See, whenever you want to look for a class declaration, or whenever you want to look for the methods inside a class, you can go for Java docs. Okay, and the version of Java which we are practicing over here, it is Java 8. So you can go for Java docs 8.0. So Java docs is the best way to get the description about all the classes, description about all the predefined classes and predefined packages. So the term is very simple. Go to Google and type Java docs 8.0. So it will give you a link. You can download the complete package. It will be around like 100 MB, 150 MB something. Okay. So then you will get the complete documentation of all the predefined classes. Okay, all the predefined packages inside your computer. then no need to depend on internet as well, or no need to depend on any reference book or anything. Directly you can go there and you can type the details to get the class details. Okay, so yes, here as I said, we need to use the we need to use set menu bar, I guess. Yes, set menu bar method. So in place of normal add method, we are using set menu bar, because this is not the regular component that we are adding into the frame. Rather, we need this component at the top of the frame, isn't it? So that's the reason we have a different method to add this menu bar to your frame. So now the menu bar got added. We have set the size of the frame, then we made the layout manager to null. And one more thing you need to observe over here, we are not using any set bound method over here, because all these things, all these menu items will come at the top, will not come on the frame window. That's the reason we are not using any set bound method over here. Hopefully you understood. Okay, so just set the size of the frame 400 600, then set the layout manager. We are not using any layout manager, so to null. Then set visibility to true, then save this program. And here we need to save the program with menu bar demo name. Go to save as. Okay, now you give the title dot java, hit enter. Okay, save it, then compile it. As you can see, the compilation successful. Now go and run. See, we got the output with file menu. Okay, so just go to the file and click on this file. It is giving, see, 3 items: new, open, save. New, open, save, and we are getting sub menu with some triangle. Okay, arrow like triangle we are getting over here. Then when you are hovering on that sub menu, you are getting edit and view options. These things we have given manually in our program, isn't it? So the same messages we are seeing over here. Hopefully you understood this program. It is very, very important program. File, this is my menu bar. Then new, open, save, submenu, this is my menu. And this submenu is my submenu. You can even get more submenus like this, as many as you want. Okay, so this is about adding the menu bar and menu items into your application, and it is also one of the important program. Okay, so then to handle the listeners, then to handle the events on the application, we go with the button program. We generated one button, isn't it? So if you click on that button, we'll try to print some message. Okay, we try to print. So what we do is we take two things. We take one text field, and we take one button. Okay, if I click on that button, it will print some message into the text field. Okay, that we will see now. So for this I will show you how to perform the action listener, how to create the action listener, and how that action listener will handle that clicking on the button event. Okay, clicking on the button event, how it will handle, that we will see. So whenever you are going for event, you need to add another subclass into the package, that is import subpackage. We need to add java dot event, awt dot event, awt dot event is a subpackage, and I need to put all the classes from this subpackage as well. So this will add only the classes and interface from AWT package, but we need, as we are handling the event also, so we need event package subclass, event package classes as well. So that I am adding like this. Okay, whenever you are performing the event handling, you have to go for this second package import as well. Okay, so then as I am demonstrating the button, okay, button handling, I'm creating my program name as button handling. We are handling the button event handling. Event also you take button event handling. Like that, you can even go for keyboard event handling, mouse event handling. All those things you need to practice by your own. I will show only this one, button event handling. Okay, because there are a lot of classes, a bulk of classes we have for every single component to handle the event. Okay, whatever components we have, whatever containers we have, and for handling every single component's events, we have to go for a separate action listener class. Okay, so those action listener classes, they are predefined. You just need to remember their names, and you just need to use them properly in your application before to handle those events. Okay, so this I have done button event handling. Then we are going for our public static void main. Then create the frame because this is the backbone. Then create the, because we said we're gonna have two things. One is a text field and other one is the button. Okay, so no menu bar, nothing now. Remove this entire thing. So first you create the text field. Okay, text field class object. So there is a text field text field t1. Okay, t1 or tf, and we are creating only one, so no need to number it. Okay, text field tf, new text field of, new text field of. Don't print anything initially. Okay, because when I click the button, then it will print something on that text field. Then next you take a button, button b equals to, button b equal, because we are using only one button, button b is equals to new button of, give some name, click me, or click here, click here, close it. Okay, so this is a button with a normal label. Click here label, we have created a button. So now set the boundaries for both, because they are components, and in order to see those components on your frame, on your container, we need to set the what we call positions. So that we will do with the help of set bounds method, isn't it? So tf dot, first I am setting the boundaries or setting the position for text field. So tf dot set bounds of, give the positions coordinates like 50 comma 50 comma 150 comma 220 something I'm giving like this. Okay, then set the boundary or set the position for button, set bounds of, give same like 50, then put 100, then 60, something like 30. Okay, so what are these? Which one is width, which one is height, which one is from the top, from the bottom, from the left, from the right? All those things you can get if you see the description about this set bounds method. Okay, you need to prepare about this set bounds method, and to get the full description about this set bounds method, you can go for again Java docs. Okay, hit the enter key. Now what we need to do after setting the positions, then perform the action listener on button, because button only responsible for generating the event. Your text box will not, your text field will not generate any event. So here button only responsible for generating the event. So I'm handling that event. So b dot add action listener. Okay, add action listener. The spellings you have to remember, add action listener, there is no other way. Okay, you need to and in that add action listener, I'm performing the action listener class constructor. I'm invoking the action listener class constructor. Okay, constructor invocation, and here inside this constructor invocation we will add the code. Okay, public void action performed. What sort of action we need to perform? In the sense, action performed method, it is also a predefined method, action. So after handling that, see, this action listener will listen to that event, and add action listener will add an action listener to that button. b1 dot add action listener, what it will do, it will add an action listener to this button. Okay, so this button, this action listener, what it will do, it will keep on listening to the event. When you click on that button, it will keep on listen to that one. So once you click, this will handle, this will what we call, this will catch that event. Action listener constructor will catch that event, and when it is catching that event, this action performed method will perform the necessary action. What action you want to perform, that you have to put inside this action performed method. Okay, and this to this action performed, you need to pass action event. Whatever event you are generating, that will be recorded as an action event, that will come over here. Okay, and inside it you can put the you can put that logic what you want to perform. What we want to perform, we want to add some text to this text field, isn't it? So tf dot set text is the method, so which will add the text like welcome to event handling, welcome to event handling. So this sort of message we are printing. Now close this one, then close this and put the semicolon at the end. So this where we have opened, here we have opened, and here we are closing. So this entire thing, this entire code, calling the action listener constructor and writing the definition for action performed method and calling the set text method, all these things are coming inside this parenthesis only. You need to notice that one. Okay, so with this we have performed the successful uh, action. So after that, add that button to the frame. Add, no need of this one, add that button, add of b. Okay, add of b, then add that text field also, f dot add of tf, text field also to the frame. Okay, setting the size and making the layout manager null and making the frame visible. All these things are common things we discussed previously also. Now give the program name as, go to the save as button event handling dot java. See now how the output will come. Compile the program got some successfully compiled successfully, then execute it to see the output. See over here we got an empty text field with the click here button. So far I'm just hovering, I'm not generating any event, I'm just hovering on the application. But when you click, okay, when you click on this click here button, see here you are clicking, nothing is happening, because we have not made the entire frame to handle our events, isn't it? We made only this button to handle our event. We said b dot action b dot add action listener. So action listener is added only to the boundaries of this button. So this boundary, click here, the button will handle your event. So when you click on this button, you will get the message. Clicking outside the button, you will not get any message. Clicking on the button will print you welcome to event handling. So like this we are getting the message. So when you are getting that message, when you are clicking on this button, then only you are getting that message, because you handled that event. Okay, you handled that event with the help of action performed method, action listener and action event classes. Okay, hopefully you understood this thing. So this is how we can handle the events. You can perform, you can do a lot of things. You can simply generate a what we call a calculator which will perform all the calculations. Okay, so there are many things you can do after learning this GUI programming. Okay, I have just given some basics. We have seen how we can create the components inside the AWT class, and we have seen how we can create the container inside the AWT class, AWT package, AWT programming, AWT GUI programming. So how we can add those components to the containers, and how we can handle the events, that also we have seen. Okay, so next we have the layout manager. We will do one simple example with the layout manager. Let me just go to that. Okay, layout managers, one simple basic type of example I will show you for this layout manager, and in that we discussed the border layout. Shall we go for border layout? Yes, we will go for border layout only. Okay, but before that it's better to go with the swings. Okay, we will see what swing application, a normal type of swing application I will try to show you. So adding a normal label, we'll start with label. Okay, swing labels, where is that? Okay, so inside swing we have J label. Yes, J label. First we go with J, because as I said, all the class names will go with J now. So let me just see whether it is AWT. Okay, it is Java X package. So we will see whether we will get the output or not, because we have some programs with the main method only. So hopefully we will get the output for these programs as well. So the swings concept, it is an advanced concept, and we need to put the Java X package, Java X dot swing dot star. Okay, so next we are simply practicing the label example in swings. So J label demo. Okay, J label demo, and same thing, PSVM I'm taking, and yes, here in place of frame you need to create J frame. Okay, J frame, JF is equals to new J frame off, and here what we need to put inside it, we need to put the J label example, J label example, and create one J label. Okay, here text field, no text field, J label JL, JL is equals to new J label of, new J label of, give some message. Okay, like welcome to Swing API. Okay, that's it, Swing API, no more button, and we need to set the bounds. So set the bounds using set boundaries, we are not using any layout manager. So layout manager very soon we will discuss. Okay, JL is equals to set bounds of, here these things. Okay, close it, then no event handling, so just remove this action listener. Okay, then f dot add off, no, not f, jf dot add off, jf dot add off our first label name JL. Okay, JL, normal label we are adding. So then add the uh, yeah, added this one, then close it, then jf dot set size, jf dot set layout, jf dot set visible, save it. Program name you have to give JLabel demo, control C, go to save as. Okay, this is swing application, a simple swing application with only one label. Okay, hit enter, program got saved. Now go compile, successfully compiled. Now go execute. Yes, as you can see, welcome to Swing API. We got the message, and the title also, JLabel example, because we are doing this with the help of label in Swing. That is nothing but with the help of JLabel class we are achieving this one. Welcome to Swing API. We got on the frame. Okay, just close this. Shall we go with a button, and then we will do one action handler with the help of button, and then we will go to the layout manager. So I'm completing all now. AWT is over, event handling is over, swing is over, layout manager is pending. That also I will try to wind up. Okay, now I'm creating a button. So here J button demo, BUTTON, J button demo. Public static void main, this thing is same, frame adding frame is same, so but not label. Now we are doing button, J button example. So here J button, BUTTON, J button, same thing, invoke here, and okay, J button, here also same thing, you print a message J button, then JB, JB, here also you take JB, J button, set bounds same thing, then here JF of JB, JB, and remaining things are same. Okay, size for the frame, J frame, and say layout manager for J frame, nothing. Then visibility of J frame we are doing. Then program name, give this program name, and save it, save as. Here you put that name dot Java, hit enter, program got saved. Now go to tools, compile. As you can see the compilation, it is successful. So now you can even see the output for this application. Just go to tools and run. Yeah, you can see the output. We are getting a button, a nice button, J button. Okay, hopefully you understood this one. Okay, so this is how we can get the button on a what we call swing application. And moreover, you have to notice this one. Now the close button, it is handled properly, not only minimize, maximize for in swings, especially in swings. And we said swings is an advanced version of AWT. So here it is handling all the buttons, maximize, minimize button, and also the close button it is handling. Okay, hopefully you understood this one. So next we do one action performed, that is handling the action with action listener. So same thing, I will take one J field and one J button. Same thing I will try to modify, because why to go for another example. Same thing I will try to modify. Now I will take a button and I need to take a field as well. Initially I will make that text field as J text field as empty. Then when you are clicking on that action, I mean when you are clicking on that button, I will handle that event and I will print a proper message inside the text field. Okay, hopefully you understood. So I'm just taking the time. Okay, so let's just go and see that one. So as we are performing the event handling now, so we need to add the event. See this event, we don't have any event package under your swings. Okay, we have the event package under your AWT only. So simply add that event package, import java.awt.event.star. Okay, adding all the classes and interfaces from this event package to your program. So it is successfully done. So now what we have to, and one more thing, see, always try to add the parent packages at the top. Okay, and then the child packages. So AWT, it is prior to swing. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So here I forgot something, I have deleted, I guess, that one. So import java dot not swing, awt dot event package dot star. Okay, then J button event handling. Okay, J button event handling we are doing now. So save this program, Control C, go to save as, Control V dot Java, hit enter, program got saved. Now do the modification. So JFrame we need okay, Java button event handling example. So we need a button, then we need a text box, a text field as well. So J text field, J text field, J capital we need to write, J field, yeah, J text field. So JTF equals to new J text field of. Okay, initially make it empty. J text field, initially make it empty. Now set the boundary, already for button we have done. So set the boundary for text field. So JTF dot set bounds, set the position. Okay, then 50 comma 100 comma some width you give, then 30, close it, put the semicolon at the end. Now yes, when you are clicking, when you are creating the button, instead of J button, give some proper message like how we have done in our previous example, click me or click here, click me. Okay, then save it. So far the GUI is over. One text field we have created, one button we have created, and we have added the uh, text field, that is JTF, on the frame. Then we have also added JF dot add of button, J button also we have added. What is missing now? See, if I execute the program like this, how you will get the output, you see. Okay, then we write the action performing code. So then compile it. Okay, here I will put that message. See, the event handling pending, event handling pending. Okay, event handling pending. So save it. Now go compile, compilation successful, then run. see, we got this output. We got one text box, we got one button. Actually, button has to come down and text box has to go top, and even clicking the button is not giving any message over here. Okay, and so for that what we do is simply, as you need the same coordinates, you copy from button, close it, you put over here. No, sorry, control Z, control Z. Button has to come down. Button has to come down. That's it. Okay, we missed that one. So add the button now. JB dot set bounds off. Set bounds off. Same, you give 50, you give 150, you give 100, you give 30, something like this you give. Save it. Now compile. Compilation successful. Now you run. See here, we got the text box first, now then the button we got, and J button event handling example, and you are clicking the button, nothing is happening because we have not done the event handling so far. So now to do the event handling, we need to add the proper code over here. Okay, event handling code over here. That how we do? Simply call the action, add action listener. We are adding the action listener. Add action listener, and open the method parameter, and in that what we have to do, uh, yeah, we need to create the class action listener, listener. Okay, listener of, we are invoking the constructor of add action listener. Okay, constructor invocation, and here after the constructor invocation, here you need to put the code like, you need to call the method. Okay, you need to define the method public void action performed. This you have to learn, you have to buy hard, or you have to learn whatever you do, but this you have to learn. Action performed of action event, pass the object e. Okay, pass the object, then here you write that I mean modification, whatever you want to do. In my program I want to change tf, not tf, jtf dot set text. jtf dot set text equals to, I want to, so off, I want to make it as welcome to swing event handling. Okay, swing event handling, close it, close it, and yeah, at the end put the semicolon, and here you come down, and what you need to close? You need to close two things. First you need to close this action performed, then you need to close this action listener, then you need to close the add listener, add action listener parenthesis, then put the semicolon at the end. That's it. Now save it. Yeah, here to here, this is nothing but performing the event handling. This is event handling code. Okay, now go to compile. Yeah, this is not B now, it is JB now. I forgot. JB. The object name is JB. Now compile. Successfully compiled. Then run. Yeah, we got the interface, GUI interface. Now when I click on this, click me. See, clicking other parts is not doing anything. So when you click on this, it is giving that message. Okay, welcome to swing handling, swing event handling. Welcome to swing event handling. This proper message we are getting, whatever we have written when we are generating that event, it is, you are getting inside the listener. Okay, you can even do with the help of a label, I guess, over here. So how come that one? Instead of text field, take J label. Okay, so J L. Okay, new, here J label. Okay, J label. So set the label. Okay, J label. Initially you make it like uh, started something, some random message I am giving, started, like some simple message I am giving. And when you are performing, acha, so for, yeah, button only we are performing. So here jlabel dot set bounds, jlabel no, jl dot set bounds, jl dot set bounds, we are setting the position. Then for button also we are setting the position, action performed. And here jl dot set text of running, make it as running. And when you are adding here, not jtf, jl, jlabel, save it. Now go compile, maybe issues, no issues. Now you run it. See, initially what you are getting, you are getting started. Okay, it is now we are not getting the text box because we are doing this with the help of a label. Okay, so we are getting a message, normal message like started. Then if you click on this, it will show a different message. We will see here, it is changed. When you are clicking, it is saying running. Now it is running. Started, then running. After clicking the click me button, the label got changed. So these type of event handling you can do. You can do the you can run your creativity, and you can do a lot of programming in this GUI. Okay. So this is something about swing components we have seen, adding the swing labels, adding the swing buttons we have seen, text fields also we have seen. Other components you can practice by your own, because we have a list of components over here. Then we need to see the layout manager. In that I told you that we will practice the J border layout. Okay, border layout we will practice. Okay, simple border layout we practice. And we don't do any action listening over there. Okay, because again, if you mix the layout manager with what we call action listener, then it will go, the program code go very big, that I don't want. Okay, we will do the simple stuff, the complex stuff you can practice by your own. Okay, because everybody needs to understand what we are doing over here, so that's the reason we are not doing. Because yeah, if the thing is simple, everybody will understand easily. Okay, so I will do the modifications over here only in this program, and using swings only I am doing that one. So as we are practicing the border layout, so border layout demo. Okay, border layout demo. And we need yeah, we are doing this with swing only, and we are not handling any events, so no need of events. But this border layout, it is a part of your AWT. As you can see, there is no J before the class name, so it is a part of your AWT package. So in order to make this border layout functioning, you need to import the java.awt.star, and whatever components I'm going to put inside this border layout, I will put all swing components, because now we are familiar with swings. So I will go with the swings only, and moreover my example is on swings, so I will use that same swing. Okay, so I have changed the class name and then my PSVM, and inside that PSVM I'm creating a frame. Okay, here J button event handling, no, this is border layout example, border layout example. So now yeah, buttons I will create, all buttons I will create. Okay, click me, here I will put the label as top, because I will put this button at the top. J button JB1, JB1 at the top. Then the next one I will take another button JB2 at the bottom, BOTTOM, bottom. Then I will take another one, another button JB3, and I will put this button at the left. Okay, left. Then I will take another button JB4, I will put this button at the right. And next we have another one JB5. Okay, because this things, instead of taking top bottom, because in your border layout we are going to have north, south, east, west, center locations. So better you take the button names along with the button labels as per your fields, okay, as per your fields decided inside border layout. So instead of going with the top, I should put this as, because top means north, okay, bottom means south, okay, left means east, left means I guess west, right? Left means west, and east, then we have center, like this, okay. So set all those, yeah, there is no boundaries now, no bounds method. So we do this with the help of what we call, you put this inside comments, so where we have comments, okay, let it be here, we are not seeing comments. So no set bounds method, because we are doing the positioning with the help of this layout manager now, border layout manager now. So no action performing, so you can add the actions also, events also. So no event action performing, so I'm removing that one. So next thing, add these things to the frame, and when you are adding, simply pass the border layout, comma, sorry, dot, border layout dot, because it is the field inside, field always all capital. First one j1, j1 only, jb1, jb1 I'm adding at the north location. Then the second one I'm adding at the south location. Second one I'm adding at the south, okay. Third one I'm adding, this is second, third one I'm adding at the east, third one east, or third one west, because we have taken west over here. So third one west, jb3, you can put west. Then fourth one to the east, okay, fourth one to the east, and last the fifth one at the center, jb5 at the center, now remaining all same. And here set layout, it is no more null, because we have added the layout manager, isn't it? We have added the layout manager, so no more set layout as null. Just make the frame visible, set visible of true, and these you make it as like 400 400, okay, like a square, okay, size of the frame it is like a square. Now save the program name, as we are doing border layout demo, go to save as, put that name, and dot java, hit enter, then go to compile. Program got compiled successfully. Now run. As you can see, all the labels, I mean all the buttons we are getting, and we have not positioned, we have not given any set bounds values over here, set bound values over here. It is automatically arranging according to the field name what you have given, according to the field inside the border layout class you have given. It is arranging all the components nicely, okay, as you can see over here. So in this way you can arrange all the components using the layout managers. We have different layout manager. This border layout is one such. We have grid layout, flow layout, box layout, card layout, grid bag layout, group layout, okay, spring layout, scroll pane layout. Like this we have around 9 layout managers inside your Java, and you can practice all those. Border layout, already I have done everything, I have shown everything related to that border layout. Hopefully you understood this concept, and I'm expecting that you people will practice this GUI programming to a better extent, okay. So because development, it is the duty of a software developer, and when you practice all these things, ultimately you will come to know how a particular application will be developed inside Java. Already I have shown many applications, I mean many program examples inside this AWT, Swing, event handling, and also the layout managers we discussed successfully. Okay. So with this, the complete programming related to the fifth unit we have done in today's session. Okay, whatever concepts so far we discussed in fifth unit, that complete programming we have done in today's session. Okay, there is nothing pending, we can say. And as we have completed the what we call uh, the IO package and the serialization concept in your fourth unit, and we left with only the lang package, util package, and the regex class, okay, regular expressions in Java. So if I complete all those, so for CSC I'm almost done, like 5 units I have completed, I can say. But for IT, I guess it will take more time, and till your exams we will do the, for your internals, for your second internals I'm considering the CSC syllabus only. Okay, the additional concepts whatever we have in IT, that I'm not considering for second internal. But for your external exams, okay, by the time you people will be ready with your internals, I will prepare those videos as well during your internals, and once you complete the internals I will post those videos as well, the additional concepts what we have, like your servlets, your applets, your JDBC. Okay, all these things we post, and you can prepare for them and you can go for your external exams hopefully. Okay, and as I said, in this event handling, three programs are very important. Already I have shown the basic perspective of these three programs, and event handling and other thing you have to do by your own, like keyboard event handling, mouse event handling, and menu bar, and this layout managers also somewhat important. Okay, prepare for all these things hopefully. Thank you very much, students.